Do you remember that high-end ZV camera with a backside illuminated stacked sensor? You know, the one that seemed too good to be true with 8K video, 36 to 46 megapixels, a mechanical shutter, and IBIS? Details coming up. But first, I encourage you to subscribe and choose all notifications so you're kept informed on the latest camera gear, news, and rumors. Andrea at Sony Alpha Rumors had something to say about this rumored upcoming high-end camera. I know websites are spreading fake rumors about a new ZV camera to be a high-end model with incredible performance. But I'm sorry to disappoint you folks. I didn't quite buy it either. In my video I put out just a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday? I can't remember, but it was relatively recent. Talking about this high-end ZV camera, I talked about how the rumors are that it's supposed to have anywhere from 36 to 46 megapixels, do 8K video, have a mechanical shutter, and have IBIS, and of course have a BSI stacked sensor. And I thought, all of this for under $1,000? It just doesn't seem realistic. And pricing, we know that the ZV-1 and the ZV-E10 are all priced around that $600 to $700 price point. And yes, the ZV-1 does have a BSI stacked sensor, but it's a 1-inch sensor. We're not talking about this new rumored ZV high-end camera. It's supposed to have an APS-C sensor. And once we start talking APS-C sensor, BSI stacked, 8K video, 36 to, let's just go with 46 megapixels. There's no way a camera like that is going to be priced under $1,000. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, it would be a poison pill that Sony would be attempting to swallow if they were trying to prevent some sort of corporate acquisition or takeover, but even then it wouldn't make much sense because, well, Sony's camera division makes up a very, very small portion of their overall business. So I couldn't see Sony coming out with this camera with a BSI stacked APS-C censored camera, 8K video, 46 megapixels, IBIS, all that for under $1,000. And even if they push that price up to $999.99, it just didn't really seem to pan out. So yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. Now there is some good news here. A new ZV camera is on the way, and it's supposed to have pretty good specs. Andrea from Sony Alpha Rumors had this to say about it. Don't get me wrong, this new camera, this new ZV camera will be very capable, but still an entry mid-level APS-C model for vloggers. And you see, that's the key. What really attracted me to the ZV-1 was that it was aimed at people taking videos of themselves for vlogging. And if you're going from a very well-lit area to a shaded area or vice versa, how not only can it focus on you and do a really good job with autofocus, Sony has a very good autofocus system, but to also auto-expose to the point where you're not distracted by it. It works so well. And that has always impressed me by Sony cameras. And to do this at an entry level with a lot of capabilities that, well, work behind the scenes so that you don't have to really figure it out, I thought $600 to $700 US is a perfect price point. And I still do like the ZV-1. The ZV-E10, not so much. Unlike the ZV-1, it doesn't have that BSI stacked sensor. So there are a few things about the ZV-E10 that are great, some things not so much. But to have a BSI stacked sensor, yeah, all that high-end stuff that we were supposed to be getting in this mid-entry level vlogging camera just isn't going to happen. And that's kind of a bit of a sad thing. So a little bit disappointed there, but not really completely surprised by this. I was kind of expecting Andrea to come out at some point to validate this. Well, not so much validate it, but kind of poo-poo it. So that's kind of that. Now, I do want to talk about a couple of things behind the scenes. Totally wasted time. I'm just going to waste a few minutes here because, well, there's nothing really much to do. I was doing a fire outside, but the clouds are rolling in and we're supposed to get another day of rain. The last 2 days it rained pretty well solid for 36 hours, and I love the rain. I pretty much enjoyed it. I left the windows open. And you know that sound of rain, that West Coast rain where it just kind of rains, the pitter-patter on the roof, on everything else, just very soothing, that kind of white noise. Really enjoyed that. But I came inside. I've been trying out a few new things on the channel. I've changed the lighting around over the last couple of months. Some of you have noticed this front light here. I'm using the CL100, the Colbert CL100. I raised it from 55 up to 60%, but I also made some other changes to the background too. I had a light right behind me here lighting up the top shelf. I yanked that, so I'm one less light here, and I think it actually provides a better look. I've also made some changes to the audio. So I'm still using the Tascam DR10L lavalier microphone. It's not wireless. I don't like wireless. I like wired. It works for me. I don't have to worry about frequencies or any of that stuff. Just a little bit, I wouldn't say old-fashioned, peculiar, eccentric. I like wired. It's just me. Not everywhere. My computer upstairs has a wireless trackpad, wireless keyboard. Just, yeah, I like it. Anyhow, so the point is, my audio's changed too. I use ThinkMedia to help me out to fine-tune the audio to where it's so much more better. Well, it's improved. If you go back a year or two, you'll notice a big difference in my audio. So I'm pretty happy with things are right now. No interest on changing out the set, doing a whole new set. But I have changed a few other things too. I've taken a slightly more casual approach to the channel, and this isn't because I'm trying to make a fashion statement in any way whatsoever. It's more that, you know, I'm over 50, and I thought, you know, I want to get back in touch. It's not enough for me to listen to Enter Sandman or, you know, Queen tunes or AC/DC or Led Zeppelin, Van Halen. I remember the album OU812, and it was really loved that album, especially that instrumental in there. I really, really enjoyed it. And so I started, you know, over time buying albums, and then I thought this year, it's like, well, I just saw a guy wearing an AC/DC shirt. They must be able to buy them today. So I searched the web, and sure enough, there was a local store in town that had AC/DC shirts, Metallica shirts, Iron Maiden shirts, and went in there, bought a few. They didn't have a whole bunch that I really, really liked. Cheaper ones or not the very good styling ones. So I bought some online as well, and I'm still searching out some, trying to find the right sizes, of course. I'm looking for a Van Halen shirt and a few others. So what I've started doing on the channel is underneath my Canon jacket, the Patagonia jacket, I'm wearing various rock band t-shirts from the 80s, 70s, maybe even, no, I'd say mostly the 80s and the 70s, mostly bands that started in the 70s that went into the 80s. One band that really changed a lot was Heart. I remember one of their first albums. It was very gritty rock and roll, and then they turned into a pop band, very, very different in style. But bands like AC/DC, Metallica didn't really change. Van Halen didn't really change. And so as a way to sort of go back into my past, what I've decided to do, at least until I get bored of it, every episode, I'm going to wear a different rock band t-shirt from the 80s or the 70s with this Patagonia jacket on top of it. And generally what I try to do is just zip it up a bit here so it's just a little bit showing. And every now and then, one of you will say, that's an AC/DC shirt. And I think at one point I only had just a bit of that lightning bolt shining through. And I think it was Pete said, AC/DC, cool band. And, you know, I've been wearing Queen. The one from yesterday, though, I'm surprised nobody remarked or picked up on it. It was, I'll wear it again sometime, but it was a Def Leppard Hysteria album. And I loved Hysteria. I think I just wore that tape out in the car. I drove around. It was my father's car. It was a 1984 Grand Marquis, and I eventually bought one myself, but it was a two-door gray, but a metallic dark gray. And you got the size of the doors on this car, because it had a 302 V8 in it. It was absolutely huge. And the doors were almost half the size of smaller compact cars at the time. And we didn't have CDs at the time. CDs were in the home, but not in the car. And I would play that Hysteria album almost all the time. I loved it. It was Def Leppard's best album, I believe, ever. And I bought albums since then, and Paper Sun, I like that track as well. But there's just something about Hysteria. It's the memories of the time and getting that T-shirt. I saw everybody's wearing them. I couldn't afford them at the time. I was very poor back then. And I couldn't afford the shirts. I'd wear the same shirts over and over again because we just didn't have money. So now today, to be able to pick up these shirts for $20 or $30 and to kind of relive my past a little bit is kind of cool. So that's what I'm doing. I told you this was a complete waste of time. If you're still watching, thank you. I didn't really plan on putting out a video today. There wasn't really much news. And when I saw Sony Alpha Rumors comment about this, I thought, well, there's not really news there, and I did nothing with it. Then I let another hour go by, and I thought, well, you know, it is kind of news because, well, we talked about it a day or two ago. I really need to go back online and say, look, somebody who knows what's going on behind the scenes has got some information from valid sources saying it's not going to happen. And I know when I cover rumors, a lot of us like to think it's going to happen. This is real. Forget that it's only 1%. It's like buying a lottery ticket. No one buys a lottery ticket thinking I'm not going to win. They start imagining they're going to win. So when I put out rumors, a lot of you start to think it's going to happen. So that's why I felt the need to put out this video to say, yeah, Andreas, Sony Alpha Rumors, is saying, based on his credible sources, that camera isn't going to happen. A ZV is coming out, but it's not going to be like that. So that's the reason for this video. It's probably much longer than it should be. How long am I at right now? 16 minutes. What a total waste of time. Well, anyhow, thank you. And people are sending me a message too. I just got a message saying, yep, that is a total waste of time. Anyhow, if you want to stay up to date, on the latest camera news and rumors, go ahead and subscribe, but make sure you choose all notifications. And there's a reason for that. By choosing all notifications, you'll get notified by YouTube as soon as I publish a new video. So that way you can stay up to date on the latest camera news and rumors, save you from chasing down Twitter and a whole bunch of websites and YouTube channels. You can get all your latest news and information right here. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.